This time last year, we were focused on moving all of our stuff out of the RV and into this boat, which we had just signed the papers on and had no idea how to sail.
I think a lot of people have the dream. You just want to sail around the world. I mean, it's so romantic. It's such a romantic thing to dream about, the wind and the sea and freedom.
The open ocean. I don't dream about bikinis, but the open ocean and beaches and dolphins and snorkeling and fresh fish and
Everything. I mean, what's not to love about the lifestyle on paper and in video?
yeah.
When we had the idea that it might actually become a reality, it was when we started RVing.
Yeah, we kind of thought, okay, well now we're officially traveling, we'll do this for a few years, and then we'll switch over, buy a sailboat, and travel the world. So when we finally started sharing that plan, that idea, people looked at us like we had lost our marbles a little bit. Or they were like, that's really cool, so you know how to sail. And we were like, no.
We'll figure it out.
And they're like, well, but can you do that? Can you just go buy a boat and go sailing? I mean, that seems really dangerous.
And then we really announced it online, and that's when everybody came out and said, one or the other.
Yeah.
You're gonna love it. It's awesome.
It's amazing.
You can totally do it.
You're gonna have the best memories, and these will be like the times of your life kind of thing. Or you can't, if you haven't been sailing your whole life and you haven't been doing this since you've been little, then you have no place on the ocean and you're gonna die out there.
It's not that they were haters.
No, they were just genuinely afraid. They were genuinely afraid of obviously the ocean themselves, but certainly afraid for us and our safety, thinking that if this just is not something ingrained in you, it's not possible. But
we're here to tell you, it is possible.
It is possible. But we don't let our own fears hold us back, so we're most certainly not gonna let somebody else's fears hold us back. But it's not that we don't take the words of caution, right?
Yeah, and here we are in the Bahamas. We've been sailing here for 6 months. We've accomplished a lot. 3,000 nautical miles, over 3,000 nautical miles on our boat.
And considering, within 1 year, we went from not knowing anything, buying a boat, learning how to sail, making it across the Gulf Stream, sailing a total of 3,000 nautical miles, and hanging our underwear on the lifelines like every other salty cruiser. It feels like an accomplishment.
We're in.
Yeah, we're officially part of the crew.
And that's what we want to do today, is just sit down and share a few of the accomplishments, a few of the things, challenges that we've learned over this past year of growth.
Yeah, because the idea being is a lot of you are probably watching because you're planning on doing the same thing. You have maybe the dream, the idea, or something else. You have some other sort of travel goal, something you're working towards.
Airplane, car in a tent, whatever that might be.
Yeah, so
Lunar.
If you've got a dream, you put a little perseverance, determination, some will behind it, you can do it.
You can do it. If we can do it, you can do it. Trust me.
Yes. All right, so where do we start? At the beginning, yeah?
At the beginning. The first thing about buying a boat
is buying a boat.
There you go.
The searching process,
We had, in our heads, we had thought this one boat would be perfect. And turns out that would have been a horrible boat for us.
Yeah. We didn't know anything,
Yeah,
right?
didn't know anything.
So we started asking around, trying to get recommendations, and we got like the mother of all recommendations as far as boat brokers and service guys go. So
finding Kent and Just Catamarans was
huge.
Huge, yeah.
Yeah.
It could have been a totally different outcome if we would have had one of those shady brokers.
Yeah. So having a good buyer's broker, somebody with a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge to help guide us through that whole process was huge. Absolutely huge. So we attribute a lot of that to
that relationship that we developed with our broker.
Yeah, and feeling confident and comfortable and like we could trust them, and we do. I mean, and granted, we pay them. So You
should be able to
you should
trust
get
them.
that service, but that's not always the case. So finding the right broker, finding a good broker, buyer's broker is really important.
That's really the first
As a
number
newbie.
one challenge is finding a broker and finding the boat that's right for the way that you want to travel.
Yeah.
Or the way that we wanted to travel.
Right.
And then next was
learning how to sail.
yeah.
Yeah. And sailing school was twofold for us, right? That bird is carrying something. Sorry.
Whoa,
really
there's
distracting.
a
He's got a
osprey
fish!
with a fish right over us. Oh, there he goes. Sorry, I gotta take time for nature. There he goes, right there. Anyway,
really cool.
where were we? Sailing school, yes. We had 2 reasons to take sailing school. And actually, we were on the fence about taking sailing school classes.
We had talked to some people and they were like, you don't need class. Like, just go out with, friends and anybody you meet at the dock.
Hire a captain, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out a captain's like $500 a day.
Yeah, which is still good money invested.
Yeah, but hiring a captain. But your insurance or our insurance, once we bought this boat, said, well, you can't sail that boat on your own. Oh, hell no.
We're like, but didn't you read our 2 blog posts where we went sailing? They didn't care about those. They said, you don't have any experience. No, you cannot go sail your own vessel, not without either a written consent from a captain saying you are capable to handle this vessel, or, that was it.
So the ASA certified classes from Blue Water Sailing School really set us up because we had a captain on our boat, which was awesome, by the way.
Yep. We learned.
Learning how to sail on our boat with a captain.
Yeah, it got us comfortable with, our own vessel. So that was a huge thing. But school in general, it taught us all of the basics, and it's really what we needed to know. I mean, we wouldn't have learned the rules of the road the same. We wouldn't have had the books to reference that we've been referencing all year when we forget something or not sure about something.
It's the simple things that you could read, but reading and doing at the same time, and learning and testing, and the note cards that she had us read, it all helped it ingrain into our heads.
Yeah.
And now when we get in these situations, we know what to do. It's amazing how much your brain
Retains that you don't even realize it retains.
So sailing school was great. Then we got our insurance signed off, so that's another challenge accomplished.
Yep, that was another big one. And then
Next one was hard for you.
Yeah, well, we did a little coastal cruising after that, just kind of putting everything we learned into practice. But
Learning our boat, seeing what really needed to be fixed.
right,
Breaking
but
more things.
then it was time to get serious about getting the boat fixed so that we could take off. And
That was the hard part.
that was the hardest part for me. Being in service was, challenging.
But it's a learning process as well. If you have a good service center and they can work side by side with you, we learned so much from the techs, from Larry and Raph and Kent and the whole team. They would sit down and say, I'm doing this because, and here's how you access this.
Or here's why this went wrong, or why this broke, or here's how this, if you ever have an issue with this thing over here, this
Check
is how
this.
you'll deal with
Yeah.
this, or check this. So huge education, right? We didn't know diddly squat, not only about sailing, but
Engine
engine work,
bilges,
boat work,
yeah.
any of that, but that was a huge learning process.
Yeah. And now when something happens, and it's happened since we've been here in the Bahamas,
Busted lines.
things go wrong,
Yeah.
bad bilges, you just hop in and you do it. Like it's not even a thought. You think, this is broken, I gotta fix it. And having a good service team that helps us understand is critical. Then the next big thing was putting a dot at the end of that
Yeah.
amount and saying, you know what?
That's all the service we're
Yeah.
doing for now. And everybody had, a lot of people we talked to said, if you wait for the boat to be perfect, you'll never leave the dock. And that is so true, because there always seems like there's that one extra project you should tackle before you leave, right? But at some point you got to just go, no, boat's good enough, it's ready to go, we're taking off.
Yeah, pushing off is a challenge in its own. Just shoving off from that dock.
Yeah.
Once you do, it feels so good.
Yeah, but we had extra help because
Oh, yeah.
we had the tax
The
man.
tax man, the Florida tax man. Hey, if you stick around any longer, you're gonna have to pay Florida sales tax.
Right. And we weren't registering with the state of Florida, which means we had to get out of there. So that was an extra little incentive to hurry up and move.
So everyone was saying, "Go birds, fly!"
Yeah.
And we did.
And they kicked us out of the nest, and it was good. So the crossing the Gulf Stream, though, that was our big leave, right? Leave Florida, go to the
Cross the
Bahamas.
stream, and that's another one of those big people say, oh, you can't do it by yourself. You don't have the experience.
Or it can be horrible. You know, people have died out there in the Gulf Stream. It's scary. You got to go just the right time.
You need a captain. You need buddy boats. You need blah, blah, blah. Well,
and yes, the Gulf Stream can get real nasty, but we took all the advice, which was plan, plan, plan. Wait for your weather window.
The weather window. We waited for the best weather window we could find, and it was no problem. If you saw the video, a little rough in the morning. We left in the middle of the night morning.
Yeah, 3 a.m. or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah,
but
it was
everything
good.
else was golden.
Yeah, and it was essentially no big deal, which was fantastic.
And we crossed that proverbial line in the sand, and that was a huge, like, pat on the back, shambong it.
We did
Hell yeah, we did it.
Yeah, it felt like we were on the other side now, right? Like all this stuff had finally led up to this moment. We did it, and now we're here, and we're doing it. And that's the way that it's kind of felt ever since that moment. Yeah. Building on knowledge, building on our comfort level with everything. And
when I did this, you can't do that.
Look, it's windy, so my air is blowing.
So the Bahamas has been the amazing, perfect cruising ground, cut our teeth sort of place, because we have shallows, we have reefs to dodge.
Currents and cuts and rages, and we didn't know what any of that was 6 months ago.
No, reefing, like a squall comes through, you're at 35 knots, you got a triple reef. These things are stuff we learned, sort of, in sailing school, but being here in the Bahamas, doing it
into practice.
Putting it into practice, that's like the big push to let us know that we're capable and we can go further. We can push ourselves further than what we're doing.
Yeah. And that's what's next.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like we've had this successful year of learning and getting comfortable and cutting our teeth.
Yep.
And now we're ready to shove off even further, push those boundaries a little bit more. And yeah, so off to...
Back to Florida. We're going to pick up some crew, get some work done.
On the boat.
We only have 30 days. We literally have 30 days because we don't have American health care. Otherwise, we have to pay another fine.
But that's a whole nother subject.
But pick up some people, head to Central America.
Yep. Get out, because we have to get out of the hurricane belt, and we have to be below the 12th.
That's what they say, below the 12th by July 1st. If you would have asked us what that meant 2 months ago,
we couldn't have told you. But see, you can learn, we can learn, and we have, and we are. So it is. It's amazing. It's amazing what you can do in a year. It's amazing what our brains can absorb.
When you put your mind to it and you're surrounded by it and you're in 100%, at least for us, when we're in 100%, it becomes this, I don't know, this natural reaction.
Well,
and
it's also excelled learning because you're doing it day in and day out, which is very different than just occasionally on the weekends, a few hours here, a day sail here and there. It's everyday life for us.
And you're all in. I mean, this is everything. Yeah. This is everything we own. This is it. Yeah. So we have to be all in and we have to be on point, and I think that helps push us and drive us even further.
Yeah. So that's where we are.
Once we get through the hurricane season in November, the plan is, boom, bust through that canal. We'll have a whole entire world of opportunity, challenges.
Much longer sails.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be a whole new ball game entering the South Pacific. And yeah, it's going to be exciting. So year 2, we'll be looking back and we'll be thinking, man,
we knew nothing.
Yeah.
That's the fun of it, right?
Nothing. Yeah. It feels like sailing is a perpetual learning experience.
So we'll organize our thoughts a little bit better on our website.
Yep. Oh, and so right before we got started with this whole process, we sat down and kind of did a little brain dump and talked about like our thoughts and uncertainties and expectations. And so now I have gone back and answered those questions.
Now we asked ourselves a bunch of questions, like our future selves, and we went back and answered.
We think it's going to be like this. I wonder if we'll be able to handle this. And yeah.
Will I get to work out enough? Spoiler.
Will we be able to afford it? Yeah. So anyway, I will link to that if you want to go back and look at that, and then. And stay tuned.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We have a Q&A that we'll do hopefully next week with our patrons about living on the boat, going through the whole process, what it's like to be sailors after one full year.
Not that we know anything. We're just cutting our teeth.
Still new.
If you liked it, give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments,
Leave it down in the comment
Yeah.
box below.
we appreciate you being part of the adventure. Just
Looking
coming along
forward
for the ride.
to the next year, and if you've got something that you're thinking about doing, you want to do it, go for it.
Let's go for it.
Make it happen.
You say something. You can dream it, do it.
Yep.
Is that it?
You can
Is
dream
that
it, you
cheesy?
can probably do it.
But it's true.
It's true. I mean, granted, I dream I can fly, but I could in an airplane.
Video's over. Bye, guys.